Omega. Remember, this is game number 3, so whoever gets this game is going to get a bit of a momentum. It's a lead over the other team.
Yeah, we can see this last look of the team compositions here as they load up for game number 3. Advantage-wise, it really depends early aggression or late game potential. Both teams having other win conditions as well, plan B. But now we're going to load into the land of Dawn. Welcome to game number 3 here. It's 1-1 RSG Philippines versus Smart Omega.
Whoever wins this game is going to potentially be at match point, so the stakes are very high. It does seem like RSG will have the momentum from winning game number 2, but let's see how this is going to fare because Chakno already getting very aggressive into the jungle of RSG.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't seen Hilda in quite a while, but Chakno is really making this hero work. Light though, responding with some damage of his own, so they treat even here and manage to protect the jungle. I don't know about early aggression coming from Omega because so far Ryzen, yes, he has played, heroes that are able to flex that, but he hasn't really made much of it. Trying to aggress now though onto Demon Kite here, taking away that neutral camp away from him. So, well, slight lead in terms of Omega, but overall still pretty even.
Yeah, if we, taking a look at both teams, right? Chaknu actually going deep into the jungle, going to be focused on here, but should be able to get away, has to pop the sprint as well. So going back to the point, right? You have both teams having those, again, plan B kind of win conditions in themselves. RSG Philippines, you have Demon Kai on this Benedetta, which didn't have the best win rate, which we saw in the draft, right? But again, can push lanes alone. This is going to be focused on Ryzen. He's actually able to escape there. Again, this is the power of Fanny here, right? So lastly, Smart Omega having Etumax on the Sicilian. That's infinite scaling for them if they can continue to play around their style, which is drag things out, get to the late game here. So that will be a concern for RSG Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already liking, how Omega is playing a lot more now. They are starting to take the more dominant position as opposed to the really, really passive approach that they've been taking in the last 2 games. Now they, actually, they're the first ones to take this turtle here.
This is a little different situation now, right? Ryzen picks this aggressive jungler, the Fanny, grabs the first turtle of the game. This time it's RSG Philippines giving up that first turtle.
I think that's what the composition was built for, right? The Hilda is notoriously known to be a jungle bully, so with this kind of aggression that is coming in from Chaknu, it also automatically gives the side of Omega a little bit more space to be able to have that kind of pressure all over the board. So they are this time able to get those neutral objectives as that turtle is going to fall into the hands of Omega. And this is different to game number 1 and 2, as Omega is going to be the one with a small lead in this early game.
There's something that I noticed. Kelra has actually picked up the sprint here. So even though he's on the clock, he's not going to go for that flicker blazing duet combo. And I find that a little worrying. I mean, he does have Iman who's going to be really, really safe in the backline as well as Aqua, so might not be able to reach that in if he tries to pull off that team fight. In the meantime, Nasia getting aggressed on here by Chaknu and Renzio, taking a lot of damage. The shield pops up, but not enough.
Wow.
Actually, no, the Dawning Light saves him from downtown. So Nas managing to live to see another day. Demon Kite with the final blow onto Renzio here. Dives the turret, takes some damage.
Ryzen.
And here is Ryzen to clean up the fight. He manages to secure that kill, and first blood goes to Omega. Kelra popping the blazing duet downtown, getting a kill off his own. Potentially Light goes in. Flicker combo doesn't connect and will have to disengage.
Light trying to do a maneuver there that looks familiar over on the side of Smart Omega, but not able to pop that off. So right now, good start here this time for Smart Omega, especially Ryzen, right? This is exactly what you want to do. This is your game plan on a Fanny. Get that early kill. He got the first blood, transition that over for the rest of the team. And like you said, right, Kelra's playing with the sprint here on this Claude. We've seen a couple different spells being picked up by the Claude players, whether that's the sprint, the flicker, or even Vengeance. It depends really on what their game plan is, how they want to play around that blazing duet. And right now, fighting for the turtle here, gonna push Demon Kite back. The Dawning Light does come out, forcing Renzi to go back with another kill in the bottom lane. It's gonna be a solo kill for the gold laners. Again, Ryzen securing a turtle.
Yeah, really worth it for the side of Omega, though they did have to lose Kelra in the process. I'm not sure what's going to happen as Ryzen goes in for a kill onto Iman. So now it is definitely worth it for the side of Omega. They both are going to trade their gold laners, but in advance, Omega has secured another turtle on the board.
Yeah, okay, so again, Ryzen feeling a lot better this time around, right? So he's got those 2 early kills. He's feeling good about the objectives early on. This allowed them to get that 2.3k gold lead at this point. So now this is switched from the previous games, right? They're the ones controlling the pace of the game, and this is exactly where they want to be here. So now the response has to come from RSG Philippines. How do you fight around that? Kelra, especially. Look at the confidence coming out from Ryzen, focusing on Emon. He gets stunned! Not able to get the kill here, unfortunately for him, but Emon does get taken down by Kelra. Nice play there. Now Etumax joining the party. They could just work on this turret. Meanwhile, Lights can be down there. Chaknu has to defend the lane himself in the mid.
What an outplay there. Ryzen actually taking too much turret damage. I think he got stunned out under there as well. And along with the kill, Omega is going to pick up the first tier turret on the bottom as well. Demon Kite, I think just barely managing to protect his jungle there. But we can see RSG, they're playing on the back foot here. And this is uncomfortable. They are used to taking the early game, but right now they're not set up in terms of their composition to do that.
Yes, but with the way that Ryzen has been playing, it seems like he's kind of, you know, like figuring out like the mechanics of the Fanny, like the maxes of what he can do. The limits, he's pushing the limits is basically what I'm trying to say. And with that, RSG Philippines, they can definitely capitalize on these really aggressive movements coming in from Ryzen, as he was able to be picked off in the bottom lane.
Light could be looking for the setup here, finds it to Max. This is way too much damage as he goes down. Emin finding the kill there with that parent of Dawning Light. Now Chaknu going to be the focus here. Demon Kite making his way too. The turtle is now up. This could be the moment for RSG Philippines to secure one for themselves. As Ryzen is going to be stunned, he should have to be able to back off here. Look at Chaknu forcing Aqua back. Turtle going to be half health here, the juggling around. Also, Kelra, about half health, going to be focused on by Navs, pushing them back, resetting the turtle. No one wants to give this one a go yet. Also, at the same time, Etumax now making his way down mid. No one wants to go yet. Look at that early Wind of Nature pickup for Emon. That could be the advantage he's looking for. They are confident in taking this turtle, RSG Philippines, but Chaknu just around the corner too. Ryzen now making his way. Who's going to give the go signal here? Electro final blow used. There's going to be the blazing duet. Popping out the damage. Light so low. Demon Kite falls. Emon trying to return on Chaknu. Look at the back lane. Naz now focusing on Rezio. Grabs the kill himself before he's taken down. Finding a kill for Kelra.
1-for-3 trade here in favor of Omega, as unfortunately they did have to lose that turtle, but at what cost? It was 3 members taken down, and Omega has the space. They are now leading with 2,000 gold, as we can take a little look into the items here, as it does seem like Sicilian is a little bit ahead, understanding that they have already secured 2 core items in that Clock of Destiny, as well as at Lightning Truncheon. And from the side of Xavier, he's only been able to build that Clock of Destiny, and so he needs a little bit more time to be able to dish out the damage, as we know the Dawning Light to be able to do.
Yeah, RSG really looks like they're trying to claw their way back in here, wanting to go so hard on that objective to secure it for themselves. The thing is, RSG, they have 4 kills, but only 2 of them are on Iman, and like you said, Eterna, Aqua right now is 0, 0, and 2. In comparison, Omega has 2 kills on Kelra, 2 kills on Ryzen, and 1 on Etumax, so they are slowly farming up exactly in the players that they need it to be.
Yeah, so it's basically it's split, right? It's nicely split amongst each player. Meanwhile, RSG Philippines, Light is actually picking up an early immortality, so this could allow him to make those plays that he's looking for, because Demon Kite's struggling a little bit. There's the Mystic Field forcing Chaknu back. There's Light, not able to connect on the Tyrant's Rage. Ryzen trying to push them back too. This is just a misplay for them. They have to go back. They lost some resources, so they got to reset.
RSG was looking for a play. It was supposed to land, but Etumax has the Purify, so denied that opportunity from happening, and that is how you respect the enemy. It does seem like Omega understands how much of a nuisance the Tyrant's Rage as well as Revenge combo can be. It can instantly be a game changer, and so they have respected that, understanding that Etumax is going to be one of the prime players to target from the side of Omega.
Omega, they just have so much teamfight potential now. I mean, you have E2 Max, you have Kelra with those huge ultimates, and also Chaknu himself, other than Ryzen, has the capability to clean up fights or to initiate them as well. On the other hand, I feel RSGPH is a little bit forced to play the defense here. You have Nas, yes, you can peel for the backline, but like he needs to be able to find those engages to be able to get an advantage.
I think at this point, right, going back to keys to victory, Navs need to be able to go Navs, right? He has to force those choices from Smart Omega because, yeah, you're right, they are on the defense here. Again, a lot of that when you have that Esmeralda is to be able to push people back or zone people out, reinitiate or disengage the best way you can. Player gold here, though, you can already see, you pointed out, Kelra feeling pretty good on this Claude. He is going to be pumping out tons of damage, especially paired with that sprint. So his whole game plan is pump out the damage, get back, and then let either Ryzen or E2 Max find those targets, especially in terms of scaling. You can see Ryzen already going to the pump out the damage, but oh, he gets focused on as he falls here. RSG Philippines could be looking for a moment, and that's going to be another kill. There's Kelra in the back lane, grabs a killing spree, gets Aqua down. Demon Kite really low, and Naz able to grab one himself, so 3 fall for Smart Omega.
1-for-3 trade, and it's so unfortunate to see that. I do understand Ryzen's playstyle a little bit. What he's trying to do is he wants to go in, baits all the resources coming in from RSGPH, allowing for the other members from the side of Omega, like Keller, like E2 Max, to go in. But he went in a little too much. He overextended a little too much, and then he got taken down. And with that in mind, RSGPH, they've secured the turtle, and it looks like they're going to secure a kill.
Yeah, Kelra could be looking for another moment here. They notice Light's pretty low. They're going to pop the Immortality here. Dawning Light does come out, but Mega Kill goes over to Emon, and the focus, Blazing Duet, not able to find anyone just yet. Ryzen, though, will clean up, looks for another kill, grabs the double.
Oh, RSG, they were so low, and now E2 Max shuts down them as well. It's gonna be 3 kills there on the side of Omega, traded for 1 Chaknu, so super worth it. RSG, I feel like they overstayed their welcome a little at the Lord, and capitalizing on those low HP bars, you know that Ryzen's going to come in with the slice and dice, but the Dawning Light comes through with enough damage. Still going to be Omega taking down this mid-tier 1 turret.
Yeah, great play, right? So Lord doesn't result into much, right? So at this point, Ryzen, you got to be careful here because he needs to think, you know, you still have to respect that Light is on that Kufra across from you. So his decisions to go into these certain team fights, these areas, even if it's the back lane, he doesn't have much time to get away.
This is a battle, man. It's just so back and forth. It's so insane. When you think that Omega has the upper edge, RSGPH finds a way to find a mistake and force a mistake from Omega, and they capitalize over that. It does seem like on paper, in terms of gold, Omega is leading, but the way that RSG Philippines is playing is that they do also have pressure on the map, and this is so crazy to see as well.
Yeah, I mean, they are really even, right? We are 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes into the game now. The gold is completely split even. And the thing is, we have seen this for the past 2 games as well, that the games could go any way at all. Light tries to go in with the Tyrants. Rage lands it on Chaknu here. Too much damage. They're trying to disengage here. Light flickers out, but the Bats Feast catches him with the damage, and E2 Max gets the kill here. And Omega, they look really happy with that, going to just retreat for now.
Again, this is what they have to do, right? Find those moments where RSG Philippines is going to mess up here. Kelra able to grab that turret. So now the objective is find that space, find the space advantage so you can move around. They do have 1 turret over RSG Philippines, so they can work with that. The other thing is, I mean, Demon Kite hasn't exactly been able to do what he wants with this Benedetta, but if he can continue to find these side lanes, causing pressure, the response to him, because so far in the team fights, it hasn't been able to work out so well for the Benedetta pick compared to that Fanny pick.
It's wreaking havoc, though, onto the formation of the side of Omega. Let's say they want to go for an objective, and RSGPH, they go for it. But with Demon Kite being able to put pressure on these side lanes, like you mentioned, it actually causes a little bit of chaos in Omega's plan. But when I say that, the same thing can be said for the side of Omega. They do have Ryzen on the Fanny who can actually duplicate and implicate the same things in the game. So it all comes back down to whoever hits first.
Yeah, remember game 1 when Ryzen almost just snuck into the base and took the crystals? So that's possible right now. Kelro's actually going to go ahead and continue to work on this Lord, less than half health here. Light could be looking for his setup, trying to get some information. Ryzen now joining this area. Let's see if they can actually secure this one. It will be big for them. Emon returning the damage to Chaknu. Lord actually going to reset here. So it takes a reset. No, he possibly do it. Has to retreat here. Light looking for Renzio, forcing the flicker out. Light quite low as well. Demon Kite goes in. Emon grabs the kill here. Now Ryzen has to retreat. So RSG Philippines finding a pick.
My goodness, they were just kind of juking around, you know. I mean, and Kara going in with the Blazing Duet didn't hit anything back in, but then RSG counter engaged as well. It's gonna be Renzio that takes the death here, but now RSGPH, they have the opportunity, gonna grab it and start to aggress on the Lord. Instead, Chaknu down low here, getting hit so much by the light wheels. It's so much damage, sounding like not enough to secure that kill just yet. And the Lord is going down now. It looks like RSG is going to be able to take that completely for free.
Oh, this is tough. I mean, even if they wanted to go for a 5v5, let's say RSGPH, they have it in their composition to look for those CC type of big momentum plays because they have the Kufra. Look on the side of Omega, what kind of CC do they have? They have a lot of bursts, they have DPS, let's say, coming in from Kelra, but the only main CC that they have is definitely just the claws coming in from E2 Max, and other than that, they have nothing. So if RSGPH, they want to go in very aggressively into the backline, let's say, onto E2 Max, they don't have any other choice other than pure damage in return.
Yeah, so we can see that, right? They're playing around this Lord at Demon Kite, focusing on the bottom, so he's going to force some pressure there. This should be the tier 2 turret going down here in the mid lane as well. So at this point, it's a little bit tough, right? How do you use Ryzen here, especially when you don't have all this access, the free access to your purple buff? RSG Philippines knows that, and they want to punish them. So, continuing to take down turrets, Lord's still going to be in the top lane. They're going to have to respond to this because the base is going to be sieged on here. Meanwhile, Demon Kite still pushing out the lanes. Light charging up here. Not going to find a pick just yet. Ryzen goes in, trying to cause a distraction. There's the Dawning Light. They secure that Lord, but another turret is falling here.
Yeah, even though you said Ryzen is like, it's harder for him to find a place, but he's doing so much work. He went all the way up to split push on the bottom side, and Demon Kite, even though he's trying to mirror that, that forces RSG to make their push a lot more tough. Now Light and Demon Kite, Chaknu actually in some trouble here, taking so much damage from RSGPH. Immortality Pop manages to get away, but in the backline, Light also falling. Goes in with the Blazing Duet, but he is down low, has to back away. Nas and Light also going to fall. E2 Max puts him in a body bag.
Yeah, Light the only casualty in RSG Philippines here, as now they are going to be the one leading in terms of that gold. But as you mentioned, it's really difficult. I mean, if they want to go in, they don't have that sort of like playmaking capacity in them to be able to just wipe them out as a whole.
Yeah, that's the point, right? Like, each member of Smart Omega has to just find those moments, because what we saw there is, again, Calry using the Blazing Duet, trying to get people as low as possible on RSG Philippines. Ryzen comes in and tries to clean up. If not, then you can see here, E2 Max picking up a Divine Glaive, right? He's already got a ton of stacks. You saw the damage potential on top of it. So it is just going to be a team effort for Smart Omega to really just win those big team fights, especially now at this point, right? Those immortalities are going to be coming online for RSG and the next Lord in about 5 seconds.
That's the thing about RSG, now that you pointed it out, they do have the immortalities. Oh, Chaknu, too much damage. Aqua secures the kill. First one to go, and now E2 Max pops the Bat Feast, tries to find someone, but the Mystic Field catches him instead, and Nas finds the opportunity with the falling Star Moon. They try to disengage now. Omega on the back foot. It's going to be RSGPH turning their sights to start up the more oppressive positioning on the Lord.
Yeah, this should be a free one for them, right? The wave is pushing in the top. Renzio trying to just keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, they're going to go work on the mid lane pressure too. This should be a free Lord. Here comes Ryzen, though. He's not going to secure that one just yet. They don't actually commit to this. It's still less than half health. Kelra pops the Blazing Duet. There's the Winter Transit. Light's really low too. Kelra has to go back, but he gets the mega kill from Aqua. Lord's still going to be worked on. Electro final blow, and they secure it. Demon Kite, but also gets the kill. That's going to be a shutdown. Finally, Calro falls. 3 are down for Smart Omega.
Wow, I was just going to say, I mean, there's so much immortality on the side of RSGPH and things like the Winter Truncheon as well. So Omega is very one-hit wonder. You have the Blazing Duet, you have the Bat's Feast as well, but once all these are down, the cooldowns are down, you have Iman just throwing light wheels after light wheels at you, and Omega kind of needs to find a response to that.
Can they defend? I mean, there are only 2 members left from the side of Omega and RSG. They're quite healthy with 4, understanding that Demon Kite is on the way and also an Enhanced Lord. Is this an Evolved or an Enhanced? But Chaknu here trying to buy some time for his team. He is going to be baiting that Lord. It is additional time, but unfortunately not enough.
That's going to be it. RSG Philippines taking this game number 3.
Wow! I mean, that play there by Chakno, it was a last-ditch attempt to try to protect the core. Great play, but then it was just not enough. RSGPH this time finding the win over Omega. Congratulations on that victory, but of course,